Hello and welcome to Sports 360, your one-stop destination for all big sporting events across the globe. Here you will get a 360-degree analysis, information and exclusive interaction with top athletes. In this edition of Sports 360, we will take a look at the Premier League top 4 race for the Champions League qualification, with Man City pulling away at the summit. Man United, Leicester, Chelsea, West Ham, Liverpool and Everton look set to battle it out for a top 4 finish. Chelsea inflicted a 5th successive competitive home defeat on the reigning Premier League champions Liverpool for the first time in their history to leave them battling to make for the top 4. Jammu and Kashmir finished at the top of the medal tally as the Khelo India Winter Games conclude in Gulmarg. Third edition of the Khelo India Winter Games has also been allocated to Gulmarg. Exclusive interaction with India's greatest winter Olympian Shiva Keshavan talks about Khelo India Winter Games and India's future in winter sports. And apart from this, we also have our regular segments, Goal of the Week, Player of the Week, Sporting Moments of the Week, and in History section, Sunil Gavaskar made his test debut on this day 50 years back. But first up, the cover story we are tracking this week. Before a ball was kicked in the 2021 season, the talk was all about whether Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool could regain their crown and start a dynasty. They were head and shoulders above all their rivals in 2019-20 season, winning the league title with ease. This season, with Man City pulling away at the summit, Man United, Leicester, Chelsea, West Ham, Liverpool, Everton, Aston Villa, Tottenham, Arsenal look set to battle it out for the top 4 finish. As it stands, 12 points divide runner-up Man United, 10th place Arsenal, while Gunners remain only 8 points shy of the 4th spot in the realistic contention to qualify for the Champions League.
Manchester United, the most likely challenger to Manchester City, but at this point in time, their cross-city rivals can stretch their advantage to a sizable lead. United have looked very much improved for long periods this season, but every now and then they show just why they are not to be trusted. Having not beaten any of the traditional Big Six this season, they have had stalemates with Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City and Arsenal, as well as a 1-6 home defeat to Tottenham. This remains a legitimate criticism and concern if they are to see through this fraught race for a top 4 spot. Leicester City. There was a moment when the question was asked, can they do it again? They don't score as many goals as United and Liverpool, but only City and Chelsea in the top 7 offer up a better defensive record. Home form will make or break Leicester's bid ultimately. 5 of their 6 league defeats so far this season have arrived at the King Power Stadium. Liverpool. Whether they like it or not, Liverpool need to get into the reality of the situation. If they cannot get a grip of their season, they risk missing out on a top 4 altogether. This side has no time to feel sorry for themselves. The challenge now is to salvage a season that's spiraling. Chelsea. When Frank Lampard was given the boot, there were sections of Chelsea's support wondering if a top 4 finish was out of reach. Down in 8 and then temporarily in 10, Thomas Tuchel arrived as a firefighter for a side all over the place. Well, Tuchel is finding a tune out of them, and having been unbeaten since the German took charge, they are well and truly back in the race. West Ham. It is safe to say that having just avoided relegation last season, even the most optimistic West Ham was not expecting a top 4 challenge this time around. Coach David Moyes deserves huge credit for the job he has done to transform the Hammers into legitimate contenders for Champions League football. The former Everton and Manchester United manager has raised the level of players.
Meanwhile, English club Liverpool are struggling in the English Premier League right now. Now they are at the 7th place and they were dealt another major blow to their top 4 ambition after suffering their 5th successive league defeat at Anfield, a 0-0, 0-1 loss against Chelsea. The loss against the Blues also meant that it was the first time the Liverpool lost 5 consecutive home league games at Anfield in the club's 128-year history. The reigning Premier League champions have earned just 10 points from possible 33 in the league in 2021, with only 3 teams, West Brom, Newcastle and Southampton, having collected fewer during this calendar year. Liverpool become the first English top flight reigning champions to lose 5 consecutive home league games. The lack of fitness and fatigue in players has a huge influence on the fluidity of the play. The vast majority of this Liverpool squad is fine-tuned in each other's styles, having played so many games together. A lack of presence with Virgil van Dijk out in particular and a need of constant rotation has seen this cohesion falter. Time for the Liverpool coach Jurgen Klopp to revive their squad, and they have to be there. They have to play a wonderful football to be there for the Champions League qualification. Now shifting focus to our next story. Cristiano Ronaldo reached another scoring landmark on the occasion of the 600th league game when he netted Juventus' third goal in 3-0 victory against Spezia. With this, Ronaldo became the first player to score at least 20 goals over each of the last 12 consecutive seasons across more than one of the Europe's top 5 leagues. Here are the more records set by Cristiano Ronaldo.
Player to score at least 20 goals in 12 consecutive seasons in Europe's top 5 leagues when he scored for Juventus against Spezia in his 600th career league appearance on March 2, 2021. Ronaldo also became the first European player to score 100 international goals when his double against Sweden took his Portugal tally to 101 in a UEFA Nations League win in September 2020. The only male player to score more international goals than Ronaldo is Iran's Ali Daei with 109. Ronaldo's tally now stands at 102 goals. Ronaldo is also the only player to win a league title, domestic cup, a domestic super cup, Champions League, Club World Cup, League Player of the Year, European Golden Boot and Ballon d'Or at 2 different clubs, Manchester United and Real Madrid. While at Real Madrid, Ronaldo became the fastest player to reach 150 La Liga goals in 140 matches, 200 league goals in 178 matches and 300 league goals in 286 matches. In February 2020, Ronaldo marked his 1000th senior appearance by scoring in an 11th consecutive Serie A game against Spal to equal the league record. In 2019-2020, Ronaldo became the oldest player to score 30 goals in one of Europe's top 5 leagues since Ronnie Rook of Arsenal in 1948, reaching the landmark aged 35 years and 166 days. Ronaldo's 37-goal haul in all competition for Juventus in 2019-2020 was a club record for a single season, breaking Felice Borel's record from 1933-1934. Ronaldo is the Champions League all-time top scorer with 134 goals and also holds the record for the most goals scored in a single campaign in the competition with 17 in 2013 and 2014. Ronaldo is also the only player to score in 3 Champions League finals and the only player to find the net in 11 consecutive matches in the competition. He has won 5 Ballon d'Or awards, most recently in 2017, a tally second only to Barcelona's Lionel Messi, who has 6. He is Real Madrid's all-time top scorer with 450 goals. The Portugal talisman has the joint highest number of goals at the UEFA European Championship with 9, leveling with former France midfielder Michael Platini. He also holds the record for the most goals in European Championship and World Cup qualifying games, that is 61. Ronaldo has won the European Golden Boot, the award given to Europeans football top scorer, 4 times, as well as claiming top score awards in the Premier League and La Liga. It has been claimed that Ronaldo's career total of 767 senior goals makes him the most prolific professional goal scorer in the history of the game. However, the title is contested due to the unofficial tallies of Joseph Bican, Romario and Pele. Soccer's world governing body FIFA does not keep an official record, and the Czech FA claimed in January that Bican's tally stands at 821 goals. Sports Desk, DD India.
While Premier League has not yet run its course to the full, there have been some clear standout performers this season that will be in the running for the Player of the Year award. Man City, currently sitting at the top of the table, have a number of players performing at an exceptional level on a weekly basis. But here are the 3 top performers in the Premier League this campaign.
Ruben Dias, Manchester City. Ruben Dias arrived last summer from Beneficia in a deal worth £60 million. 6 months into his Manchester City career, Dias has been one of the outstanding and standout performers in the City squad. It is not an easy feat considering the wealth of talent they possess. At 23 years of age, Dias has shown the maturity and composure needed to be future captain of the club and is likely to eventually move into the role. There might have been moving parts around him in terms of player rotation, but Dias has been able to gel accordingly with anyone by his side, whether it is John Stones or Aymeric Laporte partnering him. Dias has been able to morph into the central defender Pep Guardiola wants him to be. Bruno Fernandes, Manchester United. It appears repetitive to consistently mention Bruno Fernandes' excellence, but Portugal international continues to drive his team forward in the way that others cannot. 26 goals plus assists in 25 Premier League appearances this season shows the influence Fernandes has had for Manchester United. That he had 35 goal contributions in 38 appearances is an unbelievable statistics have arrived in England 12 months ago. Most players know what Bruno is going to try and do, but it remains to be seen as whether anyone can actually stop him by picking up certain areas of the pitch. Bruno's intelligence permits him to be able to receive the ball in a space and have the time to plot his next move. Manchester United are unlikely to win title this season, but his influence is growing with each passing week and will be a huge factor next season. Ilkay Gundogan, Manchester City. Ilkay Gundogan has written himself into contention with his performance this year. With the absence of Kevin De Bruyne through injury, Gundogan was given the license to take up a more advanced position, which he reaped the rewards of. Since he was given the new position by Guardiola, the German international has found the back of the net 10 times in the Premier League. While he might be pushed slightly deeper with the De Bruyne's return, Gundogan's ability to ghost into the box and pick up the advanced position undetected consistently make him the threat going forward. He might not be Guardiola's first choice in this type of position, but certainly illustrates how versatile the Germans is in the middle of the pitch. Sports Desk, DD India.
Now it's time for the goal of the week. Barcelona defeated 10-man Sevilla 3-0 after extra time in Copa del Rey semi-final, full of drama and incident. Martin Braithwaite got the decisive goal, a diving header in the additional 30 minutes of the game, and this is Sports 360 Goal of the Week. Now shifting focus to cricket, India booked their berth in the final of the World Test Championship against New Zealand in Lord's. England suffered another collapse as they lost wickets at the regular intervals, with India sealed an emphatic 3-1 series win. Jack Crawley, Johnny Bairstow, Dom Sibley all fell in the first few overs of the second inning before Ben Stokes also departed. Oli Pope made 15 runs, but he was then stumped by Rishabh Pant. With England was struggling against India throughout the match, Joe Root then went for LBW as England's hopes of an unlikely turnaround faded. Earlier, India wrapped up their first innings before the lunch, taking a lead of 160 runs. The hosts posted 365 in reply to England's first innings scores of 205. Washington Sundar was left stranded after scoring an unbeaten knock of 96, missing out on a turn by a narrow margin. So great achievement by the Indian cricket team here, first defeating Australia in Australia, and now they defeated England with a margin of 3-1 and qualified for the World Test Championship, and now they will play the final of the ICC World Test Championship against New Zealand. Now it's time for the Player of the Week segment. Rishabh Pant smashed his third Test century as he bailed out India out of trouble in the fourth Test match against England in Ahmedabad. He is Sports 360 Player of the Week. The second edition of Khelo India Winter Games was held in Gulmarg. The game concluded on 2nd March with the host Jammu and Kashmir finishing the events as the winner, bagging 34 medals including 11 gold, 18 silver and 5 bronze medals.
The Khelo India Winter Games are a massive boost to winter sports development in the country. More than 1,000 athletes from various parts of the country participated in a 5-day mega event, which was inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The event was organized by the Union Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports in collaboration with the J&K Sports Council and the Winter Games Association of Jammu and Kashmir. The Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir won the maximum number of medals in the second edition of the game, which concluded at Gulmarg. They won 11 gold, 18 silver and 5 bronze, to finish with a tally of 34 medals. Karnataka bagged the second spot by winning 5 gold and 4 bronze, while Maharashtra came third with 3 gold, 3 silver and 2 bronze medals. At the closing event, it was also announced that the third edition of the Khelo India Winter Games has also been allocated to Gulmarg. Gulmarg will be made the hub of winter sports and potential players will be groomed for the Winter Olympics. Besides this, a National Centre of Excellence will also be set up in the same place. The government is planning to build 40 sports centres in 20 districts of Jammu and Kashmir. The first edition of the Khelo India Winter Games was also held at the Gulmarg in March 2020 and was a roaring success. The Winter Games, seen as an venue for the country's winter athletes to earn national acclaim, and is also directed to promote tourism in the area. Sports Desk, DD India.
Shiva Keshavan put India on the map at the Winter Olympics for well over 2 decades before finally hanging up his luge, but he isn't done contributing to the country's winter sports legacy just yet. He is using his learning status to alleviate the lives of the millions residing in the hilly regions of India while nurturing the Olympic way of life across the country. The second edition of Khelo India Winter Games concluded in Gulmarg. To talk more on this and India's winter sports plan, today we are joined by India's biggest winter sports athlete Shiva Keshavan in Sports 360. Shiva, a very warm welcome to Sports 360. Right now, government is focusing on the Winter Games, and the second edition of the Khelo India Winter Games concluded in Gulmarg. How you look this development?
The government is focusing on winter sports, and the second edition of the Khelo India Winter Games was just concluded in Gulmarg, Kashmir. It is the first time for us that we have a sports minister who comes from a mountain state. Mr. Kiran Rijiju comes from Arunachal Pradesh, and so this is a great opportunity for winter sports to be developed in India. If we agree that the Himalayas are the greatest mountain range in the world, then why are we still lagging so far behind other countries like Korea, like China, that have already hosted Winter Olympic Games and are planning to host such events in the future? So I hope that events such as this will bring us back into the spotlight.
Shiva, in recent past, we saw India did exceptionally well in the world sporting arena. The schemes like, do you think the schemes like Khelo India and TOPS are helping the athletes?
Schemes like Khelo India and the TOP scheme are great for promoting a high-performance sports environment and also the sports culture that our country badly needs. As far as winter sports are concerned, it's important to include winter sports in all these aspects, in all these good schemes that the government has.
Sure, you are the flag bearer of the winter sports in India. You participated in 6 consecutive Winter Olympics. Tell something about your journey.
As the flag bearer for winter sports in India, I've had a long career of 25 years in international sports, including 6 Olympic Winter Games and 10 medals at the Asian level. It was a great honor for me to carry the Indian flag all over the world and get some achievements in winter sport. Now I would like to focus on giving the next generation the same opportunity and also face a little less obstacles as I have, as we put together better systems in place, better infrastructure for the next generation. So I hope to be able to continue my association with winter sports in India as we take the next generation forward.
So as we talk about the luge, it's a very tough sport. So what are the mental and physical challenges you faced as an athlete?
The luge is the fastest and most dangerous sport at the Olympic Games. It is such a challenging sport because of the high speed. Athletes go at over 150 kilometers an hour, a few inches above the ice. In the curves of the luge track, athletes can experience up to 10 Gs of centrifugal force, which is something that otherwise is experienced not even in some of our fighter jet aircraft. So the physical nature of the sport is very demanding, but at the same time, athletes need to be mentally tough as well. Because of the inherent danger in the sport, athletes must be able to put all those feelings and emotions aside and perform and concentrate solely on performance.
So how you get into something like luge, which is a very challenging sport, and at the information of the winter sports was also very less at that time when you came into the sports?
I got into luge when I was 14 years old, as I was born and brought up in Himachal Pradesh, in Manali. So we always grew up with snow in the winter times, and we had access to a lot of winter activities. I was lucky enough that when I was young, and I was the reigning junior skiing champion, I got invited to a talent scout camp which was organized by the International Luge Federation. So that gave me the opportunity to try this new sport, and which is why it is so important to conduct talent scout camps and go out and introduce new children to winter sports, because you never know where your future champions are going to be coming from.
Shiva, your message to youngsters who want to take up winter sports right now?
My message to all the youngsters who want to take up winter sports is follow your passion, take advantage of all the new and awesome opportunities which are coming up day by day in India. Competitions such as the Khelo India Winter Games that are being organized were not available during my time when I started sports. So this is something that is a big advantage for your generation. And even though there will always be obstacles in whatever path you choose, it's important to follow your passion, to have the hard work and the dedication towards your sport. And I'm sure in a future which is not so far away, winter sports will have its rightful place in India, and we may well be leaders in the world in winter sports.
Thanks Shiva Keshavan for joining us and sharing your thoughts with our viewers, and best wishes for the future. Now shifting focus to tennis, if fans weren't already excited for Roger Federer's return at next week's Qatar Open, they will be now. The Swiss star sent them a message from airport on Friday before departing for Doha. He will return on the court after almost 1 year. This is Sports 360 Tweet of the Week.
So here we are, about to take off to fly to Doha. It's been a year since my last travel to any event, and I can tell I'm very excited, and this may be also a moment where I can maybe thank all the people involved who made this possible. It's been a long and hard road. I know I'm not at the finish line yet, but it's good, you know. I feel like I'm in a good place. I've been practicing very well, and just really pumped up, and hope you guys are also going to tune in to watch it, and I hope I see you again very soon, and take care everybody.
So an emotional message from Roger Federer to his fans, and it's time for our history section this week. That year, on March 6, 1971, Gavaskar took the field, an Indian shirt, for the first time in what went on to become a historic tour of West Indies. The right-handed opener scored a staggering 774 runs in that series as Ajit Wadikar's men pulled off an improbable series victory. So that's all in this edition of Sports 360. Before we wrap up, we leave you with the sporting moments of the week. Namaskar.